What'd you do? What did you do? I don't, is that tranny fluid? Did you see that? Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Is it coming out of the dipstick? I think it's coming out of the dipstick. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Well, what did we do yesterday? Oh, we messed with the spark. We drove it around. We figured out this thing has a little leak, but we are actually getting it charged up right now. We're gonna go mess with this thing, maybe here in a little bit too. But Eric got a new starter installed on the dirty old Taurus, right? So if you take a look right there, brand new Duralast, which shout out to the previous owner of this unit. They left the box. So we just went to the auto parts store, got a fresh new starter, and Eric was just testing it. He cranked it a little bit ago. It sounded a little funny. He said, you know what, I'm gonna put the jump box on it. Fired right up. Did you put the dipstick back in it?
Yeah, put it.
And then it started puking. Let's see what it does. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. This thing just fired right up. Doesn't sound good. I mean, the engine runs, well, I guess let's go drive it. I think. Maybe one of the common things that these Tauruses do is overheat because the coolant bottle breaks. What is that? I think that's like the alternator or something, or a pulley. Something like that, but I mean, this thing freaking runs. Can't beat that. Smells like a Taurus. It literally smells like a Taurus. That's a pretty big win with this thing. If that's all it needed was a starter and we didn't even have to buy one, we just replaced it, and then now we just gotta go get a battery and then we can drive it. Big fan of the Taurus. Are these heated seats? Oh no, look at that. I don't think the seats are heated. I honestly wouldn't even mind taking this thing. It would just work. 143,000. No check engine lights, this thing. So we're gonna get this thing down, check the oil, check all the fluids and stuff on it, make sure that it looks all right, add some coolant to it. But now we have the freaking used car lot out back. So I think we could probably get it out of here, but I wanna go throw a bunch of this crap out of this thing. So I'm gonna move this guy out of the way, and I wanna go drive the Amarillo truck. Actually, let's fire this thing up. Let's see if it'll rip. If we warm it up, if we let it cool down, or whatever. I just wanna see how this transmission shifts, because I think it might end up being some EP solenoids in the transmission. Basically, some solenoids in the valve body. All right, we're up. Took a minute for it to actually engage. And I guess it has like a weird time downshifting too. That wasn't too bad. Next on the list, see if the Dakota fires up, which it fired up the other day when it was frozen, so. Oh, ready to rip. Needs cleaned out. It smells like I don't know what it smells like in here. Doesn't smell great. We'll just park this thing over here for a minute, or a while. Maybe I'll just park it over here and we'll just forget about it for a while. Still need to figure out what the point of that thing is. Either a flip. Ever since I posted about it, like, everybody likes it. I think you guys like it, I like it, my friends like it, everybody's like, that would be sick. I thought it would be kind of cool to put like a V10 in it or some sort of a Cummins. I'm just curious with length of the engine bay. Obviously, I know these engine bays are pretty big, like the OM606 turbo diesel. I think the OM606 would fit in here, especially with getting rid of this big fan shroud. I don't know about a Cummins. I think a Cummins would take up this whole entire engine bay. In a V10, this is a 6-cylinder. So you add, 2 more cylinders on the front of this over here. That would probably work, but you would definitely have to get rid of this shroud. Engine bay is really wide, but it's not really that long. So I was definitely initially thinking how sick it would be to do a Cummins, but I already have the OM606, and I like the OM606, but that was supposed to go in the Mercedes wagon, but on account of all my projects and my things and my stuff, like, which one gets it? Does the Dakota get the OM606? Poor Mercedes wagon. Does it get the OM606? Or does the Cherokee get the OM606? The other thing that we really need to do, now that we actually have a bright shiny day here in Colorado, we could actually paint this bedside today and the fenders. So I'm gonna go drive this thing down the road, see how it shifts now that it's warmed up for a minute. Let's see. Yeah, it's just like not, yep, like takes a minute to go into reverse. But once it does, it seems fine, and then it doesn't slip. Like the transmission doesn't slip at all. And I guess downshifts are a little bit funny too. Like if you're like on the highway and you downshift, it takes it a minute and it almost wants to take off in like second gear or something. See, it's shifting perfect. All right, so connected this thing up to the 4Scan, and so it did have a code, or actually had two transmission codes. Transmission control module, shift solenoid D performance or stuck off, and then another one that says transmission control system malfunction. But yeah, so basically a shift solenoid D, which would make sense, which is kind of good to see, because obviously I don't want to replace the transmission in these things. Normally these transmissions are pretty good. I don't really think this thing has towed anything super heavy or has been really abused. Obviously changing the fluid might change things. Maybe it unstuck something. Maybe it got stuck in the solenoid. Or just, I guess it's a common thing with these trucks and the solenoids to be doing some weird stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get some solenoids ordered for this thing. There's like an upgraded thing that you could do with the valve body. And then there's a company on eBay that actually like tests all the solenoids, put a new EPC solenoid, and then they put in a different manual valve thing. They like ream it out and put like a bigger one in there that is like has a better coating and keeps the line pressure and stuff up to. I was doing a little bit of research. I'm not a transmission expert, but I hope that simplifies, keeps this thing simple and keeps it fixed, and we should be good to go with that. I mean, this thing's a freaking solid unit. If I could get this armrest thing right there replaced, then the interior of this thing would be in really, really good shape. I like the black carpet and the black headliner too. Those are pretty nice. And the gauge cluster, just love the gauge cluster. So Taurus got pulled around front. Oh, how we doing? Oh, she died. Yeah, that AC sounds a little funny, but we'll get her going. Are you ready for this? Oh, check engine light. Oh my goodness. We're the check engine light guys today. Feels like it's nice.
Yeah.
Did you put coolant in it?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, what was that?
My seat click.
Tranny shifted. We're moving down the road at a rate of speed. Buddy, we got a Taurus.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we have a Taurus for, but we have a Taurus. The coolant is in the middle. It seems to be running smooth. Obviously, I don't know what's up with the check engine light yet, but we'll check it out. But we're just gonna drive this thing into town today. It's honestly not bad.
I thought I was gonna need rear shocks or struts.
Hey, you know what it needs? It might need an alignment. Eric's a big alignment guy. All right, where are we going? Actually, I'll just hand this to you. Oh, buddy, we're ripping. All right, so the question is it faster than the Forester?
No.
It's not faster than the Forester?
Foresters.
You can put some money on that?
Yeah.
How much?
20 bucks.
Line them up?
Right now.
Smell something, but that could be the belt. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
Oh, buddy. Smoked.
Oh, man.
Smoked. You'd be back there. It smells coolanty. A smidge coolanty. Sometimes the front cover will leak. Sometimes the coolant bottle will crack and then they'll overheat. Sometimes they'll blow head gaskets. I mean, they're known for a lot of things. They're known for being great, reliable vehicles too.
Now it's idling.
Oh, the door opened. I mean, they do leak from the front cover though too. Like, that is a common thing. It just smells coolanty. I don't know. You smell it. Come smell it. Too bad we didn't have no
Yeah, it smells cool.
smell-o-vision.
Kind of a couple different smells.
Yeah, it's like oil. I mean, it's like nothing's flowing in the bottle. Watch your, yeah, you got them. It's interesting, the tensioner is just like going back and forth. I don't know. Like there's no water, there's nothing flowing in the bottle. It's not hot. Check engine light is still there. Let me check that. Looking at it right here, it shows idle air control circuit fault. It says signal shorted to V battery, open circuit, short to ground, valve assembly. So these are possible causes right there. So makes sense. And then there was a bunch of ones about, this one says like power supply to the keep alive memory, loose, poor battery connections at the battery and engine block, maybe a ground or something like that. Yeah, IAC circuit fault, so that means that it could just be a bad IAC. I cleared that code and it already came back, and then obviously it's idling super low right now, like, you know, almost a little bit less than 500 RPMs, and if you start it and you don't put your foot on the gas, it won't stay running. But if you keep it, you know, if you keep it running and let it idle down, it'll idle down to really low. Whereas if we kicked on the AC or something, it'd be mad. This valve looks new, kinda, but that's probably idle air control right there. Yeah, maybe we could look at the grounds too. Double check them. AC clutch down there. Not doing well. Wow, that is a freaking yellow truck if I've ever seen one. Golly. I'm just so bummed about that rattle can, because that just ruins it. But I asked Eric to give this thing a little rinse, and you haven't even hand washed it yet?
Not yet. Man,
this thing's gonna be really freaking yellow. Like, this thing is school bus yellow. But man, you could really see all that rattle can stuff. I don't know, the big question is, you know, obviously, do we do that? I was looking at some pinstripe online, so I think we could pinstripe all the way down, but is anything below it messed up, which is what we're gonna find out.
How thick of a pinstripe?
Probably like 8/16.
Real tiny.
8/16. How big is 8/16?
Half inch.
Yeah. So it'd be, yeah, but so see right here, I don't know if that's gonna show up, but you could see it like flakes down here. Like that's worse. Like it goes below that. I don't know. That is, oh look, and it even had like a sticker back here, and then that was okay. Yeah, this like whole thing needs painted almost, which is big time sad. I don't know, maybe hit it with the hand and then we'll see how she looks. Eric, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
What are you doing out here? Man, that looks sketchy. Is that, what kind of song can we play on the fiddle with that? Yeah, we could play Amarillo by Morning. So Eric got this thing all washed up, man, freaking looks good. And then now the front bumper just had like a weird thing. It looked like the lady like slid it into like a snow embankment and just kind of gently pushed this thing back. But now we're just trying to
pull down to where kind of needs to go. But
you know what I think we should do is I think it needs a bigger strap or the chain. And then probably like right here in the back, see them two bolts right there on the bottom? Loosen that, because then that'll relieve the tension, like there's two right there on the bottom. Yeah. That'll at least let it slide, because those are slotted. Okay. We could pull it over, and then once it's in a good spot, then we could lock it back down. But I think we probably need something stronger than this, because this is getting, that's at the sketchy point right there, I think. All right, so we got the big dog out now. Got this little chain come along. These things are freaking strong. So now pulling it down and back, loosening the bolts. We kind of let it go back, and it already pulled back a little bit. But it's nice having these freaking pylons out here. It's like a built-in frame rack, right? Like seriously, if you ever needed to pull something, you could chain it to this side, and then you could, you know, put a 2x4, go into wherever you're going so it doesn't slide into it, and then just freaking start yanking it. We got a frame rack right here, built in. Or for burnouts with a Chevy Volt, you know, you never know. All right, so yellow car, well, not yellow car, yellow things are in here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Bumper looks a little bit better. We need to still clip it in, but it's gonna be a lot better once we actually get that clip actually in it. So, you know, again, just got to figure this thing out, order the transmission stuff. Well, we put the 7.3 Godzilla Mustang on this side of the shop because we're actually gonna start working on it. The Evo is actually gonna be getting a tune on basically next Monday. That's the only time that Steve has. Now that we have the new FP Red, we're gonna get a different set of injectors in it. So we can actually see what the RTEC, all that stuff does with the FP Red. How it should have been the first time that we went to the dyno. But giveaway winner has already been here, seeing this thing, checked it out, super stoked, but it's gonna be a little bit of a delay. And then Civic is just being the Civic. Taurus is just being up there, basically on the lift, awaiting some parts. AC compressor clutch was just doing a bunch of crazy stuff. And then power steering pump just feels really like grindy. So that's getting some things on it too, but that's pretty much it for what's up at the shop. So appreciate you guys watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one.